What did you find?
We did not see any, even one single individual that could be considered as the descendant of the Homo erectus in China. Rather, everybody was a descendant of our ancestors from Africa.
The result couldn't have been any clearer. How did it make you feel as a Chinese person?
After I saw the evidences that we generate in my laboratory, I think we should all be happy with that, because after all, modern humans from different part of the world are not so different from each other.
China and Japan had black kings and dark-skinned women queens. Before they bleached the bloodline of the Meiji dynasty, you had the Kuru, the black kings. Yeah, look it up. Kuru means black, means king. Same word they use now for the black paint, it used to mean us. Ever heard of the Jomon? People with thick hair, dark skin and broad faces? They were the original islanders. Every archaeologist worth their student loan knows it. The bones don't lie, but the university paychecks do. Check the Toko University digs. They literally found Afro-texture hair impressions in ancient pottery. Receipts, baby. Then you add the Satsuma and the Ryukyu, nobles down in Okinawa. Darker than half your cousins on the funeral day in July. They traded with Africa and Indonesia before Europe could even spell ship. You want sources? Look at the Portuguese travel logs of the 1500s. They describe the rulers as brown and tattooed like Moors. And don't get me started on the black Buddhist monks coming from Sri Lanka and India. They're the ones who taught martial arts in China before Bruce Lee, the great master, could even became a thesis topic. Shaolin didn't start with no pale-balled action kung fu movies. Go look up the Bodhi drama. He ain't white, he ain't this Asian. That man looked like he eat fufu for breakfast before they painted everybody pale and pretended we ain't never exist. The rulers of the East look more like your aunties and uncles after a hot summer day. These were the Jomon queens, Shang kings, Okinawa sea lords, black shogun, the Moorish monarchs who ran the Silk Road before silk even had a price tag. But then the Meiji boys got insecure. China started bleaching its history books. The Mongols got whitewashed, like they dropping a bucket full of baby powder. Everybody want to act like Asia been pale since Shah Dynasty. Lies. Before the erasure, Europeans were still writing about black nobles in Japan, calling them Moorish Asiatics, and drawing them with afros, broad noses, and royal kimonos. This is our history. Follow for more. Instagram Fuel for the Body, TikTok, Ibrahim Asim. Want to speak to university, just DM me. Or if you want me to speak life to you while my chef-ass cooks for you, DM me as well. I travel worldwide.
Hi guys, my name is Mirabelle and you are welcome to my channel. There's a conversation that always makes people uncomfortable, but at the same time, it makes people curious. Because for years, we've been taught a very specific version of history, one that separates people, divides origins, and puts different groups in completely different boxes. But every now and then, a video pops up that challenges all of that. And this one? It's making a bold claim. That when you really look at DNA, when you really study human origins, the connection between people across the world might be a lot deeper than we think. Even between groups that seem completely different today. And of course, the focus comes right back to Africa. The idea that Africa is not just part of human history, but the starting point of it. So the question becomes, are people ready to actually accept what that means? Let's watch what people are saying. So in this video, the creator jumps straight into it, no long intro, no hesitation. He starts talking about DNA, and how scientific research points to shared roots between African populations and people all over the world, including Chinese populations. Now let's pause there for a second. Because for a lot of people, that sounds surprising. Not because it's impossible, but because it's not how history is usually presented. Most of us grew up learning history in separate boxes. Africa here. Asia there. Europe over there. But what he's doing is breaking that idea down completely. He's basically saying, if you go back far enough, we're not as separate as we think. And this is where the out of Africa idea comes in, the scientific theory that modern humans originated in Africa and then migrated to other parts of the world over time. Now that part? That's actually widely accepted in science. But what makes videos like this stand out is the way it's being framed. Not just as science, but as empowerment. Because for a long time, African history has been minimized, distorted, or pushed to the side. So when people bring up DNA and origins, it's not just about facts. It's about reclaiming identity. It's about saying, we are not disconnected from the world is connected through us. And that's a powerful message. Now, at the same time, let's keep it real. These kinds of videos can sometimes simplify very complex science. Because human genetics, migration, and ancestry are not just one straight line. There are thousands of years of movement, mixing, evolution, it's layered. So while the core idea, that humanity traces back to Africa, is supported, the way it's explained online can sometimes be more motivational than detailed. And that's important to understand. Because there's a difference between scientific explanation and social media interpretation.
Chinese just came out last month, one of the top geneticists in China, who now stated that their first ancestor in China was an African, and every Chinese carries the DNA. The East Indians have already done this. Mexicans have done it. So you mean to tell me the people in the diaspora who look the most like the African American, you have nothing to do with Africa genetically? It's ridiculous. But we have to look at the mentality behind that. Nobody wants to be on a losing team.
True.
And until African people start winning globally, nobody wants to be a part of us. This is why you have Spanish-speaking Africans in the Caribbean who will call themselves Latino or Hispanic. They're Africans, but who wants to be part of a losing team? It's just like when you go throughout Africa, it's not, I still run across Africans who will tell you I'm French, I'm British, you understand? Because nobody wants to be part of a losing team. But the minute African people get our situation back in order, everybody who don't want to be black will proudly return to the race. We have to give them something to be proud of. The Honorable Marcus Garvey said, the white man has made being black a curse. I'm going to make being black a blessing. He said we have to sell being African back to the African.
Everybody is just now realizing that Asians got black noses, and it's like, yeah, y'all, because Asians is black, y'all. The Asians we see be bleaching, and they just the light-skinned Asians, they black. Let me show you some, what is it called? The Mani people of Thailand. Let me show you some pictures of them. This ain't a black lady, y'all. They call themselves the Mani people. That's their tribe, I believe that's what it's called. But they black. They black Asian. I ain't about to say black Chinese. I'm not going to do that. But they're black Asians. Let's get into more. They said these people, and there's still so many native Africans in Asia, they say, that are black, and they call themselves African, but they in the villages of Asia, y'all. I need people to not think that the whole of Asia is just white. We still got to remember that India is still up in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And Indians is dark as hell. But Asia is not light. Everybody's just not looking at the Japanese and, the Chinese. Everybody's just not bright light over there. Let's get into more. There's more. But I feel like everybody need to know that. You know what I'm saying? There's black Asians that aren't there's black Asians, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
They just discovered, this Chinese geneticist just discovered, and you can see the video. He goes, well, in all my studies, I've realized that Asian people come from Africa. We've been telling you that. But it's us saying it. He goes, and Asians come from the Xhosa, the Xhosa? That's an X. That's an X when they go. That's an X.
That's down South Africa.
So they look like black Chinese people. They discovered. They say we are from the southern. Did you see what Mandela looked like? He looked like a Chinese black man. You see his eyes. We have the right to understand. Remember, he looked like a Chinese. The Xhosa people. If you look up the San people, they're the oldest people. But then they discover in England, they said, we are going to go and discover the oldest living person. He's a black dude. Did you know that? Have you heard of the Cheeseboro Man? I did not know. The Cheeseboro Man is a black fossil they found, and the British people are like, no, bullshit. No, it's a black dude. We were here before you. You don't think we walked around? You don't think we're like, hey man, let's go over there? I don't think they sounded like that. But
That sounded like more like Eddie Murphy.
However, there is something that could settle this debate of where the Chinese come from once and for all.
After that,
I'm meeting Professor Jin Li, one of China's leading geneticists. Recently, he led a project that set out to prove that the Chinese evolved independently from everyone else, from Homo erectus, here in China.
before the project started, I was hoping that I could identify or could be able to find the evidence that support independent origin of Chinese in China, because I'm a Chinese and came from China, and through the education process, I always believed that there's something special about Chinese.
He singled out a male genetic marker which only appeared about 80,000 years ago in Africa. So any man who carries that marker must have recent African ancestors and can't be descended from the more ancient Asian Homo erectus. Jin took DNA from over 160 ethnic groups around East Asia. Over 12,000 samples. And so, what did you find?
We did not see any, even one single individual that could be considered as the descendant of the Homo erectus in China. Rather, everybody was a descendant of our ancestors from Africa.
The result couldn't have been any clearer. And how did that make you feel as a Chinese person?
After I saw the evidences that we generate in my laboratory, I think we should all be happy with that, because after all, modern humans from different part of the world are not so different from each other, and we are very close relatives.
That's great, thank you.
But regardless of that, the reason this video resonates with so many people is clear. It flips the narrative. Instead of Africa being seen as behind or separate, it places Africa at the center of human history. And for a lot of people, especially in the African diaspora, that's something they were never taught growing up. So when they hear it, it feels like discovering something that was hidden from them. And that's why the tone of the video is so passionate. It's not just information. It's pride. It's identity. It's connection. At the end of the day, conversations like this show how powerful history, and how it's told, can be. Because the same facts can either divide people or connect them. And what this video is trying to do is simple. Remind people that human beings are more connected than we've been led to believe. Now the real question is, how we choose to understand that connection. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe videos like this are helping people learn the truth, or oversimplifying complex history? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.